You did everything right. You chased the dream. You fixed your life. So why does it still feel meaningless? The reason you still feel empty, even after fixing everything. This isn't a video about motivation. It's not about 5 steps to be happy, or how to wake up at 5 a.m. It's about something deeper, something most people can't explain, but feel every single day. That ache. That disconnection. That subtle emptiness that lingers, even after you've won. Because maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're just waking up to the truth. This is what no one told you. You can do everything right. And still feel nothing. Section 1. The Illusion of Arrival. You've spent most of your life chasing something. A goal. A title. A transformation. A version of yourself that finally makes it all worth it. You told yourself, once I get fit, I'll feel confident. Once I make 6 figures, I'll stop stressing. Once I heal from my past, I'll feel whole. And maybe you got there. You did the work. You got better. You upgraded your habits. You made progress. But something still feels off. Doesn't it? That's the illusion of arrival, the belief that happiness, peace, or fulfillment lives on the other side of achievement. That once you get there, the noise will stop. But the truth? There is no there. The finish line is a mirage. Every milestone you reach just reveals another one waiting. You graduate, and then the pressure starts. You get the job, and then the promotions begin. You lose the weight, and now you're chasing aesthetics. You fix your trauma, and now you're managing your inner perfectionist, your imposter syndrome, your existential dread. The truth is, the you that believed in arrival was never chasing peace. They were chasing control. And that version of you is dying now, slowly, and it hurts. Not because you failed, but because you're waking up to how shallow the game really was. Let me ask you something. Have you ever achieved a goal, and instead of joy, you felt nothing at all? That numbness? That anticlimax? That's not failure. That's the system working exactly as it was designed, to keep you chasing, striving, consuming, proving. The truth is, you don't feel empty because you didn't arrive. You feel empty because you finally did. And now, you realize there's nothing here. So what do you do now? When the chase has ended, and there's only silence? This is the beginning of a deeper journey. One that doesn't promise comfort, but meaning. And that's what we're going into next. Section 2, you fixed the outside, but ignored the inside. You cleaned up your life. You removed the toxic people. You built routines, tracked habits, started journaling, quit porn, deleted the apps, upgraded your appearance. You did it all. And on the outside, everything looks better. But when you're alone, when the world goes quiet, it still feels like something's missing. That's because fixing the outside is easy. It's visible, measurable, impressive. But what about the inside? What about the wounds you never looked at? The loneliness you kept numbing with productivity? The grief you never allowed to surface? The identity you built only in contrast to what others wanted? Carl Jung called it the shadow, the parts of ourselves we exile in the name of becoming acceptable. We hide the rage, the guilt, the shame. We bury the questions that hurt. And we decorate the surface like we're healing. You didn't heal. You optimized. You became high-functioning in your dysfunction. You got better at suppressing what you were never taught to face. But your soul, it doesn't care about your six-pack. Or your LinkedIn profile. Or your morning routine. Your soul wants truth. And truth is messy. It's raw. It's heavy. It's uncomfortable. Most people fix their lives like cleaning the outside of a house on fire. They keep polishing the doorknob while the kitchen burns. and they wonder why they feel anxious, hollow, or burn out. You see, the emptiness you feel isn't a signal to fix more. It's an invitation to feel deeper. Because real healing doesn't look like a glow-up. It looks like breaking down, on purpose. It looks like questioning what you believe. Grieving what you lost. Admitting the truth. That the version of you were building wasn't really you. You were building someone impressive. Not someone real. And now that the noise is gone, there's nowhere left to hide. That's the discomfort you're feeling. That's why it still hurts, even though things are better. You didn't fail. You're just at the part of the journey where truth starts to matter more than appearances. The outside world was a distraction. Now it's just you, and the mirror. Section 3. What no one tells you about success. We're told success will save us. That it will heal the wounds. Fill the emptiness. Prove we're finally enough. So we grind. We hustle. We sacrifice relationships, health, peace, just to get there. But here's what no one tells you. Success doesn't save you. It reveals you. If you were anxious before success, you'll be anxious with a bigger paycheck. If you were insecure before the fame, the spotlight just makes it worse. If you lacked purpose before you got rich, now you're just wealthy and bored. Jim Carrey once said, "I hope everybody could get rich and famous and have everything they ever dreamed of, so they will know that it's not the answer." Success solves logistical problems, not existential ones. It gives you freedom, but not direction. It gives you options, but not meaning. It removes the distractions, and forces you to sit with the one thing you were avoiding. Yourself. There's a reason billionaires meditate in silence. Why celebrities go to the jungle to find themselves. Why monks leave everything behind and feel richer than we ever will. Because the deeper truth is this. Success without self-understanding is just a louder illusion. The version of success you were sold, followers, status, influence, control, it wasn't designed to fulfill you. It was designed to keep you distracted. Chasing more. Proving more. Needing more. And now that you have it, you're starting to see through it. You're realizing that even the best version of a shallow life is still shallow. So what happens now? When you realize success doesn't equal peace? When you've built the life, but lost yourself along the way? It's not the end. It's the beginning of a new kind of search. One that won't reward you with applause, but one that will finally make you feel alive. Section 4. The modern epidemic of existential emptiness. You're not broken. You're living in a world that was built to disconnect you from yourself. We were taught how to build resumes, not how to build character. We were shown how to make money, but not how to make meaning. We know everything about algorithms, branding, and hustle. And almost nothing about silence, stillness, or the soul. We live in a time where you can be always connected, but never truly seen. Where you can have thousands of followers, but no one to call when you're falling apart. Where everything is fast, optimized, monetized, and shared. But nothing feels sacred anymore. And in that noise, something ancient is being lost. The human need for depth. For stillness. For inner meaning. What you're feeling, this emptiness, isn't a glitch. It's a natural human response to an unnatural world. Our ancestors sat around fires and told stories. They faced storms in silence. They pondered their existence, buried their dead, prayed to the stars. And now? We swipe. We self-medicate. We hustle harder. We pretend we're fine. And when that doesn't work, we scroll some more. The world doesn't want you to feel deeply. It wants you to keep moving. Keep chasing. Keep upgrading. Because if you stop, if you sit in stillness, you might finally hear the question you've buried for years. What if this isn't it? You see, The world gives you pleasure, but no purpose. It gives you stimulation, but not connection. It offers freedom, but no direction. You have everything, except a reason to get out of bed. The emptiness you feel is not depression. It's existential dislocation. The soul's cry for purpose in a world that feeds it distractions. You were made for meaning, not just momentum. Section 5. The Forgotten Power of Suffering. Somewhere along the way, we made a mistake. We started believing pain was the enemy. That suffering was a glitch to be avoided, hacked, medicated, or rebranded. But suffering is not your enemy. Suffering is your teacher. We were not made for endless comfort. We were made for growth. And growth comes from friction. From fire. From pressure. That heartbreak? It woke you up. That failure? It stripped the ego off your bones. That isolation? It forced you to meet yourself. You want meaning? You will have to suffer. Not senselessly. Not endlessly. But consciously. Pain shows you what matters. It filters the fake from the true. It burns away your illusions. And when you come out the other side, you are new. Not better. Not perfect. But real. Think of the most meaningful things in your life. Your deepest relationships. Your greatest breakthroughs. Your strongest moments of character. Almost all of them were forged in pain. You don't become wise without walking through confusion. You don't become grounded without falling. You don't become compassionate without suffering. Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote, "In some ways suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning." Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Pain is not the interruption. It's the path. You've spent years trying to avoid pain. But maybe, just maybe, your soul is asking you to walk into it. To let go of the image. To stop hiding behind goals. To stop chasing comfort. Maybe pain isn't proof you're doing something wrong. Maybe pain is proof you're getting closer to what's real. Section 6. How to Reconnect with Meaning. Narration. So here you are. You've arrived. You fixed your life. You did what they told you to do. And it still wasn't enough. So now, what do? You start again. Not with another hack. Not with another dopamine chase. But with something older. Something truer. Something deeply human. You start rebuilding a life of meaning. But let me be honest. There's no step-by-step plan for meaning. Meaning doesn't come from checklists or morning routines. It doesn't come from a podcast or a guru. It comes from alignment. From stillness. From facing yourself and then offering what you've found to the world. Here are 5 places to begin. Not solutions, but invitations. Small blue diamond 1. Silence. Turn it all off. The noise. The scroll. The metrics. The constant need to know more. Sit in a room with nothing but your breath. No distractions. No goals. Just you. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding that moment. But that's exactly where truth begins. In silence, the soul speaks. And it has so much to say, if only you'd let it. Small blue diamond 2. Shadow work. Not everything you feel is wrong. Some of it is wounded. Some of it is buried. And some of it is just honest. Journal your truths, the ones you're afraid to say out loud. Ask yourself what you've been pretending not to know. Who am I when I'm not performing? What parts of myself have I abandoned just to be liked? Whose dream am I really chasing? You can't build meaning on a lie. Shadow work doesn't fix you. It reveals you, so you can finally begin as your whole self. Small blue diamond 3. Serve something bigger than you. The happiest people in the world aren't obsessed with themselves. They're obsessed with what they serve. A cause. A belief. A community. Art. Beauty. Healing. God. Nature. Children. Creation. Anything that lifts you beyond yourself. Meaning doesn't grow where ego lives. Meaning lives in humility. In contribution. In those moments where you're not the center of the story, but a servant in something sacred. Small blue diamond 4. Practice soul-aligned living. Stop asking, what will make me successful? Start asking, what makes me feel real? Align your actions with your values. Speak honestly. Create from the gut, not for clicks, not for algorithms, but because it's what your soul needed to say. Soul-aligned living doesn't impress people. It frees you. Small blue diamond 5. Let go of arrival. This is the hardest part. You have to let go of the dream that one day, you'll finally arrive. That one moment, one relationship, one amount of money, one achievement will complete you. It won't. The only way to live with meaning is to live like you're already home. Right here. In the ordinary. In the mystery. In the imperfection. Meaning isn't something you find. It's something you build, through truth, through suffering, through presence, through love. It's not loud. Not fast. Not viral. But when you feel it, when you touch it, everything changes. If this video spoke to something in you, not just your mind, but your soul, don't ignore that. That emptiness you feel isn't a flaw. It's a sign. A compass. A message from the real you, the one beneath all the layers. You are not broken. You are becoming. So here's what I invite you to do. Like this video if it gave you space to reflect. Comment below with your story, your moment of truth. Even just the word, awake. Subscribe if you're done pretending, and ready to start living aligned. Not for hacks. Not for tips. But for the truth. The kind that hurts. And heals. This isn't a channel. It's a mirror. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to remind you. You were never meant to feel hollow. You were meant to feel everything.